I'm actually getting quite worried now. It was all fun and games the past few days, joking around, showing memes of Britain becoming 1984, Keir Starmer hating free speech and wanting to lock us all up, but I'm actually getting quite concerned now. I think this is actually quite serious, and I want to show you a few articles to just highlight where we've gotten to with the state of free speech in just a few days, it would seem. It's quite scary. So I want to look at this one first. So we've got this article that came out in the Telegraph yesterday saying, you will be refused bail even if you only watched riots from the sidelines, judge warns. Now, this was in Belfast, it wasn't in England, but this is setting a precedent and this is very, very scary. So it says, whether an active participant or curious observer, anybody involved in disorder will be locked up, Belfast court is told. Now, this is terrifying because I don't know about you, but I have gone down as a curious person when there have been things kicking off to see what is happening, partly because I don't trust the mainstream media to report it properly and I want to go see it with my own eyes, and I don't think that that is a crime, and that doesn't make me the perpetrator of that disorder. I went down to a BLM protest once to see what was going on. I do not associate myself with BLM at all. I went down to a pro-Palestine march before to see what was kicking off, and I wanted to see, is it the case that people are saying a lot of anti-Semitic stuff and singing anti-Semitic chants on a regular basis, or is it just, a few hot videos on the internet that go around everywhere? So I wanted to see that with my own eyes. Does that make me a part of that protest? Does that mean that if something kicks off at that protest, something illegal, that I am then someone who should be thrown in prison? Of course not, but according to this judge in Belfast, yes it does. This is very, very scary stuff. Guys, let's just have a little bit more of a look at this article. So you had 4 men appear at the Belfast Magistrates Court, charged in relation to disorder in the city. So just having a look, there are several cases that I mentioned here. You've got some people who were observers, you've got some people who were accused of being part of disorder, and their lawyers denied that, but the lawyer said, well, it doesn't matter because if you were there, even if you were just an observer just coming to watch what was happening, then you should be thrown in prison. So let's just have a look at this quote here from the judge. It says, anybody involving themselves in this type of behaviour, this type of disorder, as an active participant or a curious observer, I've often been a curious observer of chaos, lock me up, can expect to be, save for the most exceptional circumstances, remanded in custody. And this defendant is remanded into custody. Okay, so remanded in custody means that you are thrown into prison until you have a trial. That is very concerning. And it's not just saying here, oh, it only applies to observers if they were stirring up hatred or, involving themselves in some way that is making the situation worse. No. It says if you're a curious observer, unless it's the most exceptional circumstances, you should be remanded in custody. You should be thrown behind bars. I mean, this is terrifying, guys, if this is the state we're going to, where if there's stuff kicking off, I can't go and take a look at what is going on, maybe try and get a video of it so that the internet can see what is happening without being thrown in prison. I'll be thrown in prison for observing, and I'll be thrown in prison by the CPS for posting footage of a riot on Twitter, because apparently that is a crime as well now. It's terrifying. It's genuinely terrifying. I am very, very worried for myself that I'm going to get into trouble with the police and end up in the courts and behind bars for just doing what I do, talking about politics, going and seeing what is going on in the real world and reporting on it for you guys. I mean, this is terrifying. I'm going to show you a couple of more things that are scary if that wasn't enough for you. So let's look at some of the other people that have been put behind bars. We've got man jailed after fake claim on TikTok video that he was running for his life from rioters. So this guy was live streaming to his 700 followers. Wow, really influencing a lot of people there. What a huge following. I bet he is the cause of all the riots in the country for sure. So he was live streaming, and he says in his live stream that he is running for his life from rioters. So this is actually someone who is not on the right. This is, maybe this is an example of one-tier policing. I don't know, but I don't care what side you are on, whether you're left or right. I do not think that you should be thrown behind bars for falsely saying on a video that you were running from rioters when there were not actually rioters. If you want to make a joke like that and muck about and say something that's not true information, fine, you're an idiot, but fine, don't put them behind bars. I understand if someone is going on social media and genuinely inciting violence, right? If someone goes on social media and says, everyone, let's meet at 7 p.m. outside the town hall to go and beat up some migrants, fine, that's inciting violence. I don't mind if the police step in there. That is very explicit. But this is a guy that's literally just lied on his live stream and said, oh, I'm running from rioters, when he actually wasn't. Genuinely insane. This is terrifying stuff, guys. Now, let's go back to this woman who spoke about the Southport suspect. So, as you guys, I'm sure, are aware, we had rumours going round that it was a Syrian refugee, and then it turns out it was not a Syrian refugee, and it was some Rwandan bloke who's born in Cardiff but parents are Rwandan. But this woman is in big trouble for just getting it wrong. Just getting it wrong. She didn't tell people to go riot, but she got it wrong, like many people did on the internet, but for some reason they've chosen her to arrest her. Woman who first shared fake Southport suspect rumour that sparked riots arrested. This is insane. The woman accused of being first to spread the fake rumours about the Southport killer which sparked nationwide riots has been arrested. Racist riots spread across the country after misinformation spread on social media claiming the fatal stabbing was carried out by Ali al-Shakati, believed to be a fictitious name, a Muslim asylum seeker who was on an MI6 watch list. And let's just have a look at the tweet because we need to see what she actually said. So she said, Ali al-Shakati was the suspect. He was an asylum seeker who came to the UK by boat last year and was on an MI6 watch list. If this is true, then all hell is about to break loose. She said something that was false. But you know what? We all get it wrong sometimes. I've probably said things that are false before by accident. I've seen a tweet about it and retweeted it or tweeted about it, and it turns out I'm wrong. This was a fast-moving situation, and this woman got it wrong. Now, let's look at the second part of this. It says, if this is true, then all hell is about to break loose. So actually, she adds some doubt to her previous statement by saying, if this is true, suggesting that maybe, look, she's heard this about the suspect. It may or may not be true. And then she says, then all hell is about to break loose. She is not saying that we need to start hell on earth and start rioting if this is true. She is simply making a prediction. She is simply suggesting people are going to be very, very angry if it is the case that this is an asylum seeker, someone who was allowed in this country because the government failed to have a proper border despite years and years and years of people asking one. I think it's a fair comment to say hell is going to break loose and people are going to be angry if this is the case. It's just a prediction. She's not inciting violence. She's not telling people to go and attack mosques. She's not telling people to do anything. It's just a prediction. This is not something you should be jailed for. This is genuinely terrifying, guys. This is not a joke anymore. This is serious. I feel like we are going to have a load of coppers all sat there scrolling through our social media looking for any tweet that we make where maybe we get it wrong, or we just share footage of a riot and they're going to throw us behind bars. This is very, very scary stuff, guys. But listen, guys, this is what I suggest is we cannot back down. We cannot let them win. We have to keep posting what we do. We have to keep pushing back against the narrative. We have to keep sharing footage of riots on Twitter, else we will not know what is actually going on the streets, because you sure as hell can't trust the media to tell us exactly what is going on. I'd say that we have some safety in numbers. I think there are going to be some scary situations where, as we've seen, people are put behind bars for doing perfectly normal things and saying perfectly acceptable things. Well, even if they're things they might be a mistake, but it's something you shouldn't be put behind bars for, saying that stuff on the internet. We're going to see some arrests. Let's hope it's not us. I think that we do have some safety in numbers. But you know what? If I have to end up in prison rather than just back down and shut up and allow this country to become this 1984 style hellscape, fine. If that's the price I have to pay, CPS, do you know what? Come and take me. Because I'm not going to allow this country to fall apart and for us to lose all the freedoms that people fought for in 2 world wars just because of Keir Starmer using riots as an excuse to take away our most fundamental liberties. I'm not going to have it, so I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing regardless. Keir Starmer, that's my message to you. I'm Chloe Dobbs. Make sure you're subscribed to the Reason YouTube channel and you press the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. I will see you soon.